So you want to play Ranger, huh? Well, come along and I'll take you on a trip to the rifle shooting, launcher holding, laser blasting world of Ranger. But first, let me give you a quick overview of this class. Ranger is a class that specializes in opening weak points and completely decimating the enemy from a distance. Nothing is safe once it's in your crosshairs. As Rangers, once that blight round goes off and you're in position, all that's left is a deadly proposition. So now that you have a general idea of Ranger, let's go and break it down. Ranger has access to two distinct powerful weapons, Rifle and Launcher. Rifle allows Ranger to decimate their targets from the mid-range with increased mobility, good damage, and the ability to create weak points with blight rounds. Launcher allows the Ranger to eradicate all life from a distance with high damage and strong attacks. Rifle features 3 photon arts. First, we have Homing Darts, a lock-on system that targets every targetable point in range. This move allows you to easily deal with multiple enemies at once, along with attacking multiple points of bosses. Next, we have Blaze Shot, an extremely mobile stream of bullets that slowly drains your PP over time. Blaze Shot allows you to stay at mid-range as the enemies move around in order to upkeep Ranger's maximum damage range. And finally, we have Raising Shot. Raising Shot is a chargeable shot that, when released, pierces enemies but also deals a hefty amount of damage. When Raising Shot is used uncharged, it shoots 2 shots which have a minor explosion on the target. We also have Rifle's weapon action. The weapon action on Rifle allows you to perform a slide shot, evading damage for the duration of the animation, along with regenerating PP from the attacks. On top of this, Rifle's skill, Grenadier, allows you to get access to a strong attack with a 30-second cooldown. When you hold the weapon action with a movement input, you will shoot a grenade shot that deals 400% damage. When holding the weapon action with no movement input, you will deploy a mine, which when triggered, explodes for 500% damage. Rifle also has Spread Shot. Spread Shot is an active skill which requires you to build up the meter by dealing damage with the rifle. Once the bar is full, Spread Shot becomes available, giving you access to a strong burst of damage that also has invuln for the duration of its animation. Now, let's talk about Launcher. Where Rifle is a mobile beast, Launcher is an immovable force. Launcher has access to 3 destructive photon arts. Fallen Impact has you shoot into the air with your launcher, causing multiple hits on the targeted area. Multi-Hit allows you to send a volley of high damaging rockets onto a targeted point, ending with a high damage finisher. And finally, my favorite of all the launcher photon arts, Fear Eraser. Fear Eraser is a giant laser beam that you can hold down and it will keep firing until your PP is 0. After a certain point, Fear Eraser ends up dealing even more damage than normal, and when it ends, unleashes an extremely high damage hit. On top of this, Fear Eraser also has Hyper Armor, allowing you to hold it down without being interrupted. Now, Launcher's weapon action is called Sticky Bomb, which has a 30-second cooldown. This deploys a bomb onto your target which explodes, regenerating your PP. On top of the weapon action, Launcher has the ability to condense the size of their normal attack by holding forward and normal attacking. This allows you to deal slightly more damage on a singular point without it being spread. So now that's over, let's talk about the skill point distribution. You have 20 total skill points in New Genesis currently, so this is how I would distribute them for Ranger. First, put 1 point into everything except the bad condition skills. Afterwards, max out blight rounds, then distribute the remainder of your points into both bad condition skills. Personally, I went with 1 out of 10 ward and 5 out of 10 reduction to get a reduced time the status ailments last. Now, let me tell you about my thoughts in theory crafting on Ranger. Ranger is a ridiculously strong class that has some of the most consistently high damage in the game due to its range. Rifle's homing darts provide Ranger with a pretty decent AoE, and proper positioning with Launcher allows Fear Eraser to be used for AoE as well. For single target damage, Rifle has loads of active skills which supplement its deceptively lower DPS. The speed Spread Shot builds, along with the power Grenadier and the mobility plus safety the weapon action gives, makes Rifle a very good pick for those who are seeking a more mobile option for Ranger. Launcher, however, is definitely the polar opposite. Launcher has extremely low mobility but extremely high damage. On top of this, the weapon action Sticky Bomb is actually one of the most ridiculous parts of Launcher. If timed correctly, Sticky Bomb can explode, giving you an extremely long and extended Fear Eraser. Coupled with the fact that Fear Eraser has Hyper Armor, the only resource you need to worry about when doing this large amount of DPS is your HP bar itself. So let's talk about the gameplay loop and rotation for Ranger. In general, I would recommend to have both a rifle and a launcher on you at all times. Rifle gives you access to Blight Rounds, which is a core part of Ranger's kit. Blight Round allows you to pretty much speed up any encounter in the game by boosting the damage. Now, if you hit it 100 times, it turns purple, and this is called Blight Rounds Reinforce. This increases the damage by 5% and also extends the timer by 15 seconds. Your job when you have a rifle equipped is to properly apply Blight Rounds to the spot everyone should focus on. Now, as a disclaimer, Blight Rounds does have hit collision, so it will collide sometimes and apply to the wrong area. On top of this, you can overwrite the Blight Round positions of other Rangers on the same target, which can lead to some Blight Round dancing. Now, in the event multiple Rangers keep blighting the boss, personally, I would just stick to doing as much damage as possible rather than trying to get your Blight Rounds in. On the Launcher end, Launcher gives you Sticky Bomb, but more importantly, a long-ranged option. The damage Rifle deals is limited to a specific mid-range. Your damage decreases when you're either too far or too close. Dancing around in this optimal range is pretty much necessary to output the most amount of DPS for Rifle. But if the boss is too far away or you can't stay in that optimal DPS range, Launcher makes up for the weakness as it does not have a range requirement for its damage. Launcher also has bigger burst over Rifle, however be aware the animations are definitely slower for its startup and you are mostly immobile. However, holding a full Fear Eraser on a Blight Round non-interrupted is probably one of the best feelings in this game. For Photon Art usage, on Rifle, I primarily use Homing Darts for AoE, Blaze Shot for PP dumping and maintaining a mid-range, and Uncharged Raising Shot to get some quick burst in, and if the mobs are lined up, a Charged Raising Shot works as well for some AoE. On Launcher, Multi-Hit is my primary boss DPS move when the boss is too mobile or I can't sit still for an attack. Fallen Impact, I usually pair right before Multi-Hit just to have some extra damage going on, but I also pop Fallen Impact right before Fear Eraser to deal damage during Fear's start animation. Now for subclass choices, I'm gonna be honest, New Genesis has made subclass choice pretty minimal, so it's basically pure preference. I personally use Gunner for more PP recovery, which helps the PP usage on Ranger. So in summary, for Ranger, your goal is to keep uptime on your Blight Rounds to increase the damage of everyone. Rifle is a mobility option which has good AoE, decent damage overall, but very good damage in its active skills. You will have to stay in a mid-range for Rifle to maximize your damage, so get comfortable with this range. Launcher is a powerhouse of Ranger's kit. Sacrificing your mobility in return for extremely high damage with the proper setup and timing, you can output such insane DPS from a distance that is borderline broken on Launcher. Positioning is highly rewarded whether you use Rifle or Launcher, so make sure you practice good positioning in fights. And that pretty much concludes the Ranger guide. If you have any questions or you want to share some interesting tech you've discovered for Ranger, comment down below. I'll do my best to try and reply to you and also answer any questions you might have on Ranger. Hopefully we can get enough people playing Ranger so the next UQ you have will be a large stream of lasers. Anyways, thank you all so much for watching, and I really appreciate every single one of you. If you'd like to support this channel, please like, comment, subscribe, or share my videos around to help people learn more about New Genesis. Also, I do stream at twitch.tv/everydairy every Tuesday and Wednesday between 4 to 7 PDT. If there's any changes, I'll make an announcement on my Twitter at everydairy. Thank you all for watching, and I hope every single one of you has a great day. This is Casual Gamer Corvus from Everydairy, and I will see you Wednesday with the Fighter Guide. Hopefully.